Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.
Come on in and shut the front door. You're welcome to the You Should Know Better podcast, the news from the Antagonist Shoes. And we are back. We are back with another guest episode. Another friend of the show. Ola Labib, nice for you to join us.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, no worries. On which is episode 7, I believe. Episode 7, season 6 of the podcast. Glad you're here. How
yes,
are you
and
doing?
7's a lucky number as well. So
that's it. We knew.
Yeah,
we knew.
that.
Look at the stars aligning.
7 is such a lucky number, honest to God. It's not mine, but anyway, it's fine. It's someone's. I know it's somebody's.
It's Nick Cannon's number, isn't it?
I don't think that's.
I think he's even surpassed 7, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's got more than that. I'll be honest with you. But no, glad for you to join us today. And I just thought it'd be nice if, you give yourself a little introduction, let people know where they can find you, what you do if they don't know already. And I guess we can kind of jump in with your story, if that makes sense.
So my name's Ola Labib. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm also a pharmacist, And
Why are you doing that with that face? You should be proud.
Do you know what? You're probably the only. Do you know what? Mike was the only person that when I say in pharmacy, it's like, yeah, you should be proud of yourself. But we know not most doctors, that's not nice. But like, as soon as you work in a hospital and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a pharmacist. They're like, oh, did you apply medicine first? And you can get into pharmacy instead. And I'm like, how dare you bait out the truth like that?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I know that story.
And then every single pharmacist who wants to do medicine try their best to hang out with doctors, and it's like it doesn't matter what you do, you're never going to be a doctor. You should take pride in what you do.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, it is. I feel like we save your ass all the time.
Every time.
I like pharmacists. Every time I go there, they say, "Come back tomorrow. We haven't got your drugs."
So rude.
I love that.
So true.
I love that behavior. Come back at 8. Don't worry.
Oh my days. Come to me first. I'll hook you up. Same day delivery.
We'll do.
Well, it depends what kind of drugs.
Here we go. Here comes the caveats.
All legal drugs. No, none of that street stuff, I'm sure.
That OTC. No, I'm messing. But yeah, where can they find you? I'm sure you've got some interesting content that.
You can find me on every platform, and it's on the Ola Labib. So Instagram, TikTok. TikTok's only recently. I bloody really struggle with that. And Twitter will be kind of nonsense, to be honest. So pretty much
the usual.
That's it. It's about the IG.
We'll have that all linked up in the descriptions. But anyway, I'm going to pass over to you. You can.
I didn't really know what to talk about, to be honest. And then when I saw the podcast name, I was like, okay, so past mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a mistake that's not necessarily my mistake. It's a mistake.
Are you that perfect? What's going on?
No. I make mistakes. Trust me, I make mistakes.
Not at work.
Oh God,
I'm messing about.
Don't come and listen. She's got patience with that.
I'm messing about.
Come to the place and say, "Hang on."
I pay insurance. I'm covered. For the set of mistakes, you're not covered. And on the topic of drugs, I thought I'd talk about when I went to Amsterdam for the first time for pure, innocent fun.
Recreation.
That disclaimer was definitely needed.
Pure, innocent fun. So my friends were like, oh, let's go on holiday before your wedding. So I was like...
So it's like a hen do, or is this like a pre-hen do?
No, it was a hen do, but I was 100% planning for a double H, a halal hen do, 100%, no stress, no headache, just chill. So that's why I recommended places like Italy, Spain, somewhere close by that we can just chill.
Nice weather, good times.
Exactly. So I went to Amsterdam, and my friends kind of had this narrative, oh, Ola, you know, you're single, you're never going to get this chance again, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, bro, like I've had 30 years to do this. Like I've literally got no interest. Let's just go to the museums. Let's go bike riding. Let's try 50 different types of cheeses and just bounce and come back to the UK. So my friends were literally living their best life. Like, oh my God, I can't remember a moment where they didn't have a joint in their mouth. But I was literally like, nah, definitely not me, definitely not me. Anyway, on the on the last night, we were gonna go out for dinner.
Yeah, get some food. Yeah, that's right. For dinner.
And so they kind of like bought me some stuff, and they got me like a cake, which was really lovely, like a mini chocolate cake with like a candle with my initials on it. Also cute.
That's nice.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. And anyways, I was eating it. So they cut it in half and then cut it in quarters. So I had a quarter, and then I was munching on the other quarter. One of them was like, no, I don't want it. I had her quarter, and then one of the others had. So I had 3 quarters, and one of them had 1 quarter.
Is it just like a? Oh, go on. Go ahead.
So as I'm eating, it was so bloody delicious.
Oh my
we
goodness!
kept, like looking at each other and giggling, like.
Right, here we go.
And I was like, guys, what's so funny? And then one of them's a bit ditzy, and she was like, oh, there's weed in it. So obviously I'm like, what
space
the fuck?
cake.
Yeah. And I was like, are you actually serious? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I ate so much. And then she was like, oh, don't worry, there's only like 0.5 or 5 milligrams of it. And then the ditzy one went, oh, I thought the guy said 5 grams. I said 5 grams.
Wait, but which one is it? Because I think if there's anyone who's going to be interested in milligrams, it's you. Okay, that sounds
like that dose right.
That sounds like you know about your dosage.
0.5 milligrams or 5 milligrams and 5 grams.
That means nothing to me, but I know it's a big difference.
1,000 times the strength.
No doubt.
That's mental.
So obviously I started panicking, and I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. Let me see what it is equivalent to joints. And it was the equivalent to between 7 to 9 joints.
The joints you've been avoiding.
The ones I've been avoiding.
Packed it all in the last minute.
Life. So at this point, like, I'm proper panicking, and I'm like, well, I can't feel anything. Okay, like, maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
So I call up what is now my husband, who was my fiance then, and I called him up, and I was like, I'm actually really, really worried. I had 3 quarters of a space cake, and so he asked the same question. He was like, oh, how much was in there? And I was like, well, apparently it could be anything between 5 milligrams to 5 grams. And he was like, 5 grams? Holy fuck, man. Oh, my husband's American.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, is that bad? And he was like, yeah. He's like, that's not. And he went, listen, what time is it there? Because he's all the way in America. And I was like, okay, it's 6 o'clock. And he went, listen to me. He went, drink lots of water and go straight to sleep. He went, sleep, do not wake up to the next morning. He went, hopefully by the next morning while you're asleep, you would have slept it all off. And I was like,
was this like wives' tales, or is this like advice that is actually recommended? I'm just interested. Did he know what he was talking about, or was he just trying to? Yeah.
Does
he's an African American man from Kansas City, so I'd assume he knows what he's talking about.
All right.
Kansas City, yeah. He's seen some stuff from Kansas, that's for sure.
Okay,
he knows what he's doing, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
So at this point, like, I was quite anxious already, because I'm quite an anxious person anyways. I'm quite jittery, and that's why I do comedy, because comedy, like, proper humble, like, it makes you forget about everything, because I'm quite a nervous, like, anxious person. So anyways, I was like, yeah, fuck that, I'll go straight to sleep. Drank loads of water and then went to sleep. And yeah, I just remember hearing something clatter to the floor, and I woke up and it was dark, and one of my friends was sick, because we were in a hotel, and she was standing at the doorway to my room, and I was like, oh, is that you? And she was like, yeah, how are you feeling? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, do you want a cup of tea? And I went, oh yeah, I'd love a cup of tea. Now, I don't remember everything that night, but when it first started, I literally just remember blinking, and then she's literally right next to me, and blinking again, and then she was gone, and then blinking again, and she was right in front of me with a cup of tea. So I was like, so I sometimes crack myself up, but maybe that was probably the worst time to crack myself up. And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, are you time traveling or something? And it's not even funny. But I just remember just laughing and laughing and
was it
laughing.
more than just something
just
else
like
on his cake?
Yeah, I don't know, because usually, like, if I make myself laugh, I'll have a bit of a giggle, like, but it probably won't last any longer than that.
Yeah.
So I just thought, bloody hell, like, God, that's so funny. Now, what triggered everything is she started laughing with me. She went to the doorway and I heard her say, oi, oi, Ula's awake and she's high.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm not.
Start getting paranoid.
So you saying that
another sign.
Are you saying it to yourself or you like saying it to her?
I think both.
Saying it out loud.
Yeah, I said it out loud, but I was like, no, I'm not. Now, my other friend, she's like the bad example of the group, like spawn of Satan. So when she came in smiling, that's it. Oh my God, I completely lost the plot. I was like, I'm not high. Oh my God. Am I high? And that's it. I completely tripped. And I was like, I just absolute panic. So my other friend starts panicking because I'm literally like clawing at my face. I was like, no, I'm not high. And I was like, trying to say, like, I was like, astaghfirullah, this is not right. This is forbidden. Oh my God, someone play some Quran. And then, so my friend panicked and started like playing Quran on her phone. I was like, switch it off. I shouldn't be listening to that. I've done what Satan's done. I shouldn't be listening to this. I'm not worthy of listening to this. So my friend's like, I'm proper panicking. I'm panicking. I don't know what to do. And I was like, call Rami. Rami's my husband, yeah. I'm like, call him. And then I'm like, why am I calling him? He's never going to speak to me. So at this point, I obviously thought I developed bipolar schizophrenia because I kept answering my own.
Yeah, you're kind of having a conversation with yourself.
Yeah. So I'm like, call him, wait there. I was like, he's not going to want to speak to me. After what I've done. And then at this point, I'm like, why am I talking to myself? Oh my God, bipolar schizophrenia. I've heard cases where people have only smoked it once and only taken it once and I've only had 5 grams and usually people start.
You sound like a living version of WebMD. Like, it's just like, what happens? And it just explodes and it blows.
Laughing.
Your head's gonna fall off, and that's what sounds like. You were slowly ending up there.
I was losing the plot. So, anyways, my friend like calls my husband, my fiance at the time.
Yeah.
In Kansas City, and it must have been some crazy time because he wakes up, he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I know we're only getting married in 3 weeks, but I know there's a big taboo in Africa about mental health and I've got paranoid schizophrenia now.
Wow,
you still marry me, still marry me. And then he was like, oh my God, he must have checked the time. He's like, oh my God, you've woken up before the time. He was like, put me on the phone.
Right.
And then he was like, look, you just need to keep her hydrated and this and that, and just hope she goes like to the toilet so this stuff comes out of her system. And I was like, wait, what do you mean I can get it out of my system? So I crawled to the bathroom and I made myself vomit a lot. And I was like,
tactical.
So I was like, so at this point, the other one that ate a quarter, she started tripping and she was just like trying to keep herself calm. And she was like, look, Ola, I'm not trying to make you panic, but I'm panicking. It's like, I'm panicking. And I was like,
Kara is also in trouble.
Yeah. And then so the only one who's like, okay, is like, I can't deal with this. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And I take my phone and I'm dialing. And they were like, who are you calling? I was like, I'm calling 999. I said, we need to.
In Amsterdam, yeah, you're finished.
So the other one snatches the phone. She was like, you can't call 999. We're not insured. And I was like, what do you mean we're not insured? She was like, we'll have to pay for it. And I was like, how much it's cost? So we're here that like fucking high as fuck trying to Google how much it costs to go to a hospital in Amsterdam. And I was like, I don't care. And I was like checking the BNF and I saw that a diazepam ampule is like £6. It's like
what's the BNF? What's that? Sorry,
BNF is like a dictionary of all the drugs.
It's basically a pharmacist like religious book, essentially. It's like
basically. And it has,
is that what the drug dealer's been reading from? That must be their Bible.
But yeah, I was just like checking the prices of like diazepam. Diazepam is like it relaxes you. So I was just like, I need some diazepam, I need some lorazepam. So I was Googling the price and I was like, look, it's not that expensive. Let's try and find a pharmacy that will sell it. And like, I can administer it into myself. I just need it. I need it to get me through tonight. I need it to get me through tonight. I need it to get me through tonight. And then the other one was like, no, we can't. And then I was like, and then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I never, ever, ever, I must have been in a really bad place. But I was like, I need to call my dad. And they were, so my dad's
nuclear
like,
option.
He's an Islamic scholar. He's a sheikh, works in a mosque. And I was like, and they were like, no, you can't call your dad. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then they were like, okay, why don't you call your brother who's a doctor? Now, my brother was out. When I was calling him in a panic, he's a doctor. He put me on loudspeaker.
Jeez.
So everybody can hear. He's like, yeah, Ola's tripping.
Oh, is he in the family house at this point, or is he with your family at this point?
No,
He's not. Oh, okay.
That's suicide.
But to cut a long story short, I managed to fall asleep. When I woke up the next day, it was still in my system. We missed 3 flights back to the UK.
3
flights. We had one the next morning, like at 6 o'clock, and I was on the floor, like covered in my own vomit. I was like, there is absolutely no way.
Right, that one's gone. Okay.
So that one was gone. And then the second one, we got to the airport.
Yeah.
And then my friend was still like a little bit trippy. We got to the airport and they were like, there's no flight. And she was like, look, there's the flight. And they were like, that's booked for next Sunday.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You can't fly when you're high, boy.
So we had to book a 3rd flight for that night.
That's how you just made it today.
Yeah. 2.5 years later, I've been there the whole time.
Yeah. We got married out there and stuff, and eventually I made it back to the UK.
Right.
That's mental. That is
traumatic.
Mental.
I haven't even talked about it on stage or anything, and I think it's taken me about 1.5 years to come to terms with the honestly, like, people would be like, oh, Ola, why don't you talk about it? I was like, no, I'm still really traumatized about it. But I think now I'm kind of seeing there's no fun to it really, but
I get when you're in it, right? That must feel like the worst feeling in the world, because you don't know when you're not going to be in it. Do you know what I mean? You don't know when it's going to end. And you think things last hours. So it probably was what the five. Oh,
no, that was a heavy dose, man.
Heavy.
Who made that cake? Snoop Dogg out there or something like that?
It lasted a good like I felt lethargic for a good 3 days. Like honestly felt like crap. And Michael, I've had abscesses drained from my armpit without anesthetic. And
you're a soldier.
I had PVL MRSA.
Oh, for real?
And I didn't know. And they didn't swab me. And I had 4 surgical drainages and they never swabbed me.
For those who don't understand, this is all medical talk.
Rotted.
Honestly, and I worked with infection control, and they never picked up on it. And I was getting abscess after abscess after abscess after abscess. They were checking me for diabetes. For like, they were checking me for everything.
Oh, right. They no stone unturned.
Did they swab me? And do you know what? Do you know when they diagnosed it? I eventually had to come home, and I've got a little brother. He was like 8 at the time, and I slept next to him. And a few days later, he developed an abscess in his groin, and I was like, "This is not a coincidence."
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And then I took him to the GP. I was like, "Please swab our skin," and she wouldn't swab mine, but she swabbed his, and PVL MRSA.
Why don't she swab yours?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Maybe she can smell the cannabis coming out of my
She's not telling me too many joints. I'm not talking to her.
But yeah, basically what I'm saying, like I've suffered a lot of pain physically. That was the worst thing I've ever been through, I would say, from a medical point of view.
No, and that is an advert not to do drugs, people. That is it. Especially,
don't take kids.
Don't do drugs, okay?
Do not do drugs, kids. That's it.
Well, this has been a full therapy session.
Oh, it's been therapeutic.
Thank you.
I hope it has been. Really enjoyed you actually sharing that story.
Yeah,
that may help someone out there, and they may see the funny side of that as well. Hopefully they do too. We definitely appreciate you sharing that, though. Honest to God, honestly.
No, thank you for having me, guys.
No
Take
worries.
care. Thank
See you in a
you,
bit.
and speak soon. Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
So we're going to move on swiftly to the next segment of the podcast. This is the it's not infamous, the famous, the world famous people out in Texas and the people in Shropshire that listen to this. This is the You Should Know Better segment. This is where we look at a prominent news story in the news and consider it from the antagonist's shoes and ask ourselves, should they have known better? So, Junior, obviously what's been going on in London, for our listeners out in London, there was a tube strike across the capital on Monday, the 6th of June. And the union behind that, the RMT union, they are the Rail Maritime and Transport Union. They've just announced, man, this is fresh news. There's going to be 3 more strikes on the 21st, 23rd, and 25th of June. And this is going to control the whole of the UK rail network, including the underground on the first of those dates, 21st of June. So I'm going to put Junior into the shoes of these railway workers that are striking. Why? What name you gonna have? What's your train driver name?
Thomas.
It could be Billy Jones. But explain.
Thomas.
Why are you guys bringing the UK to a halt during a time of economic growth and recovery following the pandemic?
Well, I think the world and the UK at large needs to understand that us train drivers, we're people. Okay, myself, Thomas. I drive a tank engine. I'm a person, right? So we're out here going up and down the length and breadth of this country, and we're not seeing that money enter our pockets. It's lying in the fat cats. It's lying in everybody else. It's lying in BP and them man there. You know, and we're working long hours. I'm sure you travel. I'm sure you travel to Aldershot, Newcastle. How'd you get there? People like me. You don't even say thanks. You don't even press the bell when you get off. You don't press the bell.
Because you're using coal. Oh,
renewably sourced coal. That's what we're using.
Coal.
Renewably sourced coal, right? And no one's saying thank you to the train drivers, yeah? We're seeing a real wage cut, yeah? Because we're not really getting paid that much. So we're sick and tired of this, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to strike, right? And we've taken a rule out of the book of, Extinction Rebellion and the ones who have come before us. You have to cause disruption, so people get annoyed, so then they call their local MPs and they tell the MPs that we need to get paid more. That's the plan.
So you got to admit, man. Obviously, that the disruption that this is causing people across the country, people just want to get back to work. We've got a cost of living crisis. If people aren't able to go to work in order to feed their families, what are the repercussions of this?
They can go to work.
Inflation is
they can go to work.
10. No, but obviously some people
they can go. Do you work for the BBC or something? Let me talk. They can go to work. They can take bus.
Well, you think about named Clive or whatever that guy's name is. Clive.
What, that black brother?
Yeah, of course, Clive.
He's in they sent him to Kiev. And they brought back everyone else. He's still in Kiev. I said, nah, bring my brother back.
They said you want to work for the BBC. Come on the news on the front line.
He's in Kiev.
That artillery hat on, fam.
Yeah, he's in Perez, man. Perez on his shirt. But yeah, people can still get to work. They can get work. Bus, bike, e-scooter, right? You can find new ways. You can find new ways, okay? Don't bother.
So you're telling someone from Peterborough to London to jump on e-scooter?
Brother, listen, you'll find a way. Or ride a bike, or hitchhike. It's up to you. I don't know, but you're not getting on the train because we're not allowing that, right?
Yeah.
We need to cause disruption so that
some will say this is selfish because you're not getting the money you want. You're going to mess up other people's money.
No. We'll get our money eventually by doing this. If we sit and do nothing, guess what? We get nothing. Okay. And we're not about that. All right. Listen, I'm telling you, some people like me, Thomas, the main mad tank engine. All right.
Yeah.
Been working hard alongside Postman Pat. Paddington Bear, but
What, Fireman Sam? Fam?
Fireman Sam as well. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Clifford?
Who will be working? Oh
shit.
The earthquake in your house.
He's the earthquake in the house. Not on the earth, just in the house.
Living in the San Andreas fault.
You can stop being the Thomas the Tag Kitchen, but you know what? I'm in a difficult. It's bittersweet for me because obviously the strikes are very disruptive, but I support the right, and as they should be. You know, K Kurd has got a bit about saying if you protest and the people that you're protesting against like what you do, then it's not really a protest. He calls it a shit day out. And I understand that sort of sentiment. The people that you're protesting against shouldn't be comfortable with your means. And this is very uncomfortable. 3 days in a week that they're going to strike could disrupt everything. And Jamal, yesterday, trying to get to work in central London was a mess.
It was hell, yeah.
Complete mess. But I support the workers. Because the government and the people and their bosses are messing them up. You know, you shouldn't be trying to 11% inflation. Give these people a raise.
I hear that. I support everyone's right to protest, disruption. You know what? I don't like it, but I can't lie. I don't really care. I don't really get the train like that anyway.
Yeah, you work from home, fam. You don't give a damn.
I mean, the TFL would have bothered me, but I get Southeastern, so I was fine. So I'll be fine. But anyway.
Let them strike and take off the Wi-Fi. That's when you'll be shaking, bruv.
That's fine. That's fine. I still got. I use my phone. I don't mind. Keep protesting.
Keep protesting. I support you workers, man. I support. I'll go through the pain to support you guys. But what have you got for me? Let's move on to that.
Well, I've got a story which is neo-colonialism, which is white privilege at its finest. Okay, this is a story that you'd think it would have came out of one of those Indiana Jones. You know what in the Nicolas Cage National Treasure is this? Okay, Jim Fetton, a retired geologist, was jailed for 15 years in Iraq on Monday after he tried to bring home 12 stones and shards of broken pottery from an archaeology site. Okay, now if anyone doesn't know, this is illegal. You cannot bring relics from another country, right, into your country. It's illegal. Okay. Now, some of these British people have been doing that since day one, but they usually get away with it. My man Jim Fetton has not got away with it. So, long story short, he's been jailed. He's been sentenced to 15 years, and his family have said it is a life sentence at his age. My man is like 66 from Bath. Okay. He's arrested at Baghdad Airport, right? Baghdad Airport. We had the Rosetta Stone in there and the Holy Grail and the Eye of Tutankhamun and everything in his bag. Collected him. So, Michael, I'll put you in the shoes of Jim Fetton.
Yeah.
Right? We got access to you in the Baghdad jail.
That's it, man.
People are happy. We've got
the Wi-Fi strong out here.
Powerful lawyers and powerful people in powerful places. Who the hell do you think you are? Why are you stealing stuff, archaeological stuff, from one of the greatest civilizations in the world?
To be honest, I'm an internationally well-travelled geologist from Bath, and what I will say is that everywhere I go, I collect some shrapnel, I collect human rubble, I collect all
Jim Ross.
I collect artifacts from all these different places, and I've never had a problem. But somehow we go to Iraq. It's my first time in this wonderful country, and this is where I find problems, and this is why the tourism in Iraq is going to suffer. Because if you make an example out of people like me, I've got all my friends out in Bath. I've got a whole geology group. Geologist United, and they're now not going to come out because you're trying to make an example of me.
Well, that's perfect, because we don't want people like that coming out here stealing.
I want to call it stealing. You take a bit.
So why did you get arrested for it?
Well, that's the thing. My lawyer told me that this is some Saddam Hussein law that they've just enacted. Saddam
This
Hussein
land has been gone since
Check.
06.
Saddam Hussein law.
They just enacted it.
They just enacted it. This is a Saddam Hussein era law that I'm now suffering from. Because obviously they want to make an example of the West. Obviously, they've not forgiven the West for what happened in the 90s and the noughties. They don't forgive them. The war on terror. I don't think we've forgiven you for the stuff you did in the early 20th century. Because it's theft. You're stealing stuff that doesn't belong to you. So they're taking out on Jim Fetton. You know, I'm just a pensioner, just on my travels, trying to explore different lands to tell my people back home about Iraq. But now, what I told them that they're putting me in prison for pottery.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna tell them nothing because listen, you're gonna spend the rest of your days in this Baghdadi jail. 15
years for pottery.
Yes, it's theft.
No value. It's got no value.
Well, you tell that to the people. You tell that to the Africans who've got their masks in the British Museum. You say it's got no value, sentimental value. But no, you can stop being Jim Fitton. Again, case of these people thinking they're above the law, thinking that
trust me,
they are the supreme leaders of everything cultural. Of the world. They can take it and put it somewhere in a room or in a library and say, yes, look what we found. It's not worth being in the country. It's worth more in our institution. And do you know what?
100%.
I don't agree with it, but I can't lie. I'd rather go and look at this thing in the British Museum than travel all the way across the world.
Guy, bro. This guy, your ancestors are going to shake you. They're going to shake your bed tonight. That's a disgraceful thing.
I'll go
this guy, you want to take one tube, the tube that they even strike it to the British Museum.
I'll take my e-scooter, fam. I'll take my e-scooter. But no, let me quickly do the throwback before we.
Hit us.
This time in 1981, mad. So we just celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Well, 1981, the Queen was shot by a youth. Hey, listen, brother, I didn't even know this. By a 70-year-old man outside the mall. That's that bit where they all walk down and they all
Paul Moore on Monopoly.
Yeah. She was shot by a man who shot a replica gun at the Queen, right? So no one was hurt. But as she was riding on a horse going past, he was shooting his shots. Marcus Surgeon, right? He was shooting at the Queen. Now, I'm not really sure why he did it. I think he just wanted to make a public stunt or something like that. But anyway, this guy was tackled. I don't even know if he's still alive.
They gave him punches and the kicks like Dave Chappelle did, fam.
This one, the camera was on. They were still delivering the beating. They were still delivering the beating. But it's crazy. But yeah, so she was pretty unfazed. Her horse was quite startled, actually.
Wait, bolt off?
Then No. It kind of just jumped a bit, and then she kind of looks over. The footage is probably online somewhere, and then she just kind of looks over, and then she's kind of like, "Okay, cool," and carries on. I'm not really sure if she took the gravity of the situation in that time, but it's mad. Like,
where did they say this guy must be doing 1,000 years in the Tower of London? Where is this guy?
I think he's still in the building. Yeah, I think he's still in one of those dungeon cells with the remains of Guy Fawkes. I think they put him in I know they still got Guy Fawkes chained up.
Yeah, trust me, that corpse is hanging, fam.
Yeah,
no burial.
Meals every day.
Yeah, this guy, you shoot the Queen. Yeah, you're doing years, cuz you're doing you're doing several years, too many years.
Yeah, I didn't read what happened, but I read the news article as it was written at the time, and so it doesn't explain what happened to him. But yeah, they shut him down.
You hold smoke for the royal family, but damn, you keep them to words, please.
I didn't even know about the story. Like, I really didn't know. It's only when I was looking at something, I was like, oh wow. Obviously, it's before my time, but it's never discussed. So anyway, we're glad he didn't succeed.
Trust me.
And on that note, yeah.
We're gonna end the pod right there. Obviously, thank you for tuning in once again. Thank you for all the supporters. We appreciate your time, ears, and energy. This has been another episode of You Should Know Better. Have a great week and don't do anything that's gonna make us say you should know better. Take care and peace.
In a bit.